We are starting a super awesome weaving project today. We are going to be starting these woven cups. These are a lot of fun to make, and when we are done, you will have a cup that you can put pencils or colored pencils or anything that you have in your room in. They will stay just like this. You will have something to take home and have use. When something has use, it is called functional. So our weaving this year is going to be functional weaving. So let me show you how we're going to get this started. So our first thing we're going to do is we are going to use this template for our cups. The cups we're going to use are these paper cups, and you're going to take the template, you're going to put the cup right on top of it, and then you can see that around here we still have, you can see the little marks where we're going to make marks on our cup. So at each one of these little places, you're going to take it and just make a small mark at each place. These are going to be where you're going to cut. I'm sorry, I've got to get in here. This is where you're going to make your cuts for your cup, because the cut parts on here are going to be our warp. Warp and weft are weaving terms. Your warp threads always run up and down, and your vertically, and your weft run left to right. So these are going to serve as our warp threads. So you can see on here I have the little marks, that's all I need. And then you are going to cut down, you see this ridge on the bottom of the cup? You are going to cut at each one of these little marks straight all the way down to where the design ends. See where that design ends right there? You're going to cut all the way down. If you do not cut all the way down, it is not going to be easy to weave, and it's not going to be even. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut straight all the way down to where the design ends. See how far down I went? That's what each one is going to be. So it's, you know, the bottom of the inside of the cup. So all around, we are going to cut. And if you did not cut far enough, it is very easy to see that when you start weaving, because your weaving will not be even, and we are still able to fix it, so don't panic. So I've prepared my cup. The other thing you want to do is write your name on the bottom so we know it's yours. I'm going to write Mrs. Garner. Okay, so I've got my name on the cup. I got my cup ready with my warp threads. And now I'm going to get some yarn. Here's how we have yarn set up. In a box, we have yarn set up. Outside of the box, we have the yarn that you can pull on. You are not allowed to take the yarn out of the box. Anytime you use the yarn, you are going to pull on this thread to get yarn. We're going to give you this little piece of mat board to use. And then you'll use a little piece of tape. You will take your yarn here, and you're just going to tape the end to here. Doesn't really matter where. And then I'm going to pull some out so I can start to wrap. You're going to take this, just came out, let me try again. Take this and wrap around, oh my goodness, come on. There we go. You're going to wrap, oh buddy. Okay, so I'm going to hold it while I start to wrap around about 20 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 17, 18, 19, 20. and then you're just going to trim it off with a scissor. Okay, so you're going to take this back to your desk, and this is a yarn you're going to start weaving with. At your desk, this is where you're going to set it up. You've got to know how to tie a knot. You're going to take one of your warp. They're not threads. I always want to say warp threads, but they're not threads. One of the warp pieces on your cup. You're going to bring it all the way down to the bottom, and then you are going to tie a knot 2 times. So cross it, bring it through the hole, and pull. And then cross it, bring it through the hole, and pull. Okay, so now it is tied at the bottom. You can take this little tail and you can just kind of wiggle it and then hide it on the inside so that you don't have that end hanging out. There we go. So I have hidden my knot on the inside. And then I'm going to start my weaving. So I have my first one done because it's the one that I just tied on. So this is an over-under pattern all the way around our cup. My first one here has gone over the outside. So now my thread that's on the inside, this is my next one that I'm going to work with. It is going to go behind that one, and I'm going to pull it down to the bottom. So I went over, under. This one is going to go over, and then part of the secret of this is pulling it down to the bottom. I always give it a little tug to get it down. So over, under, over, under. My next one's going to go over, pull it down, and that has already put my next one under. Turn my cup. I'm going to go over again, and I'm going to tug it down so it comes all the way down. And then I'm going to go over. Now, I've made it all the way around for the first time, so now this part right here is going to be my under part. So I went over, and then my second layer, I'm going, you can see it's in there twice now at the very bottom. I went under. Now I'll be going over this one, so it will make a complete line when I go around the second time. So over this one, bring it through, pull it down. I always have to kind of use my fingers to get it to go too. You are in charge of the yarn is not in charge of you. So I'm going to go over this one and behind the next one. So over, under, pull it down, over, under, over, under. Now on this one, give me some more yarn here. I'm going to start my second layer. So I'm going over this one, and you want it to lay right on top. So over, under. You want it to all line up just like this. You want it to be real even. By the time you get 4 or 5 rounds done, it will be a whole lot easier to get this down. See, I kind of use my finger to push it down. And I turn the cup, and then I kind of push it down and I yank to get the yarn down. And your hands will get used to this, and they will start to develop a pattern. So now I'm going to start my third row. Nope, I'm going to start my second row all the way around. So here, see how I've got 2 rows going now? So I'm going to go behind, and then in front, behind, and in front. So just over and under the whole way. Now, when you get to the very end, let's say I have gone through the end of my yarn. I'm just going to cut it to show you what would happen. You would leave a string, go get more yarn. You can switch colors or you can do the same color. It's up to you. But then you're gonna need to put these two together. Here's the easiest way to do a knot. It's like tying a water balloon, if you've ever tied a water balloon. So instead of trying to tie these into a knot, because that's really hard, if you put the ends together, so they're lined up together, see how they're lined up? Then wrap it around your fingers and then put it around your fingers and then go under and behind your fingers and then pull. You have a knot, and this should stay tied. Any extra little stuff here you can cut off, but tying it like a water balloon is pretty easy for a lot of people. And then you just start your next color and you keep going. This will take a little bit of time to get set up. Don't get frustrated. Everything can be fixed. If you've never woven before, this is a great beginner project for you. Be patient. Remember, there is only one teacher in the room. So if you need help and we can't get to you right away, be patient. Ask somebody by you. Maybe one of your friends can help, because we will be all over the place helping. But for those of you who know how to do the weaving, we're gonna need help from you too to help your friends. Okay, template, cup, cut. Get your, this is a bobbin essentially, get your bobbin all ready, and then tie it on and start over, under, over, under, over, under for the whole thing.